Welcome to episode 141 of your mostly weekly Concealed Taco Dudes podcast. Nice. We're here again.
You have kind of a soft voice today. What's up?
I'm tired.
Oh. Okay.
Well, it's not so much that I'm tired. I forgot we were recording today, and I have so much going on in the shop that my plan was to work through lunch. And so I was like in hyper work mode. You called me and said, hey, let's move it back to 1. And I went, oh yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, we're recording
today.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 o'clock. So I'm like, yeah, cutting things short and moving fast. And anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about our sponsors.
Well, today we just have me, Taco.
Oh yeah, me, Jason with Concealment Solutions.
Stan.
We've got to make a greater effort to get the group back together.
Yeah.
It's been tough.
Their schedule has changed.
Their schedule's changed. I have traveled so much this summer.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm leaving again in a couple of days for a few more days. And then school starts. Yeah. And you have to be home, right?
Yeah. And then I still have a couple trips after that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I should be mellowing out other than race season starts.
We had not last minute, but a kind of end of the summer high adventure activity planned.
Oh yeah.
With the youth, young men and young women.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to do Ding and Dang.
Oh, cool.
So we did
that with our group last spring or last fall.
Yeah, I remember because I told my buddy about how you were spread out and you fell down in the mud.
I dropped 10 feet to the deck.
Yeah,
that was scary.
That is scary. I wish I could have been there to see how it actually happened.
Yeah.
But
it was, the walls changed and were undercut where I was going, and it was a poor decision. It wasn't well thought out.
Yeah, there is one like undercutting, or I don't know how you'd call it, but when you're stemming across, there's this part where the wall goes concave. Yeah. And
there's a lot of
there were so many boys who got stuck right there.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to because I'd say, hey, just go a little bit lower, and they just freeze up, and their arms just start shaking. I'd hurry over there and just grab them so they didn't fall. Yeah. And then hold them while they lowered down. All you have to do is lower down just a little bit. Yeah. And it fixes the issue.
That's what I was in the process of doing when I dropped.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't hit your head or anything.
Oh, I'm really lucky. And as bad as it was, I was lucky I landed in the mud.
Yes.
That stuff was gooey and thick, and broke at least half my fall. Only half of me landed in the mud.
Well, and so we were gonna do that on Friday, and Saturday morning we were gonna do the
Little Wild Horse.
No, Lair of the Basilisk.
Oh yeah,
whatever that rappel.
Yeah, our guys did that this year. I had COVID. Oh, so I missed that trip.
But we were going to do that this week, and so we checked the weather, and I didn't want to be like Ricky and get stuck in a flash flood, and it was set to storm.
That's a bad area.
Really bad. I mean, people can die, and it seems like people die every once in a while. They did a couple
years ago.
Yeah.
2 little girls were lost.
And that was in Little Wild Horse, which is a little bit
isn't really that narrow. There's only a couple sections that are really narrow.
Yeah, so anyways, we were going to do that this week, but then I checked and it was stormy.
Questionable
Thursday,
weather.
Friday, Saturday. I'm like, oh, great. So we ended up canceling that. We're going to do a rappelling, what would you call it? Like, just go up and down the valley here. Oh. And hit a bunch of the rappelling spots. We'll start out in Spanish Fork in Red Ledges.
Okay, I haven't been there.
Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll probably do Battle Creek and, do a little bit of a waterfall rappel.
The ones where you can walk to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's what we're gonna do to make up for it. But yeah, I have been so crazy busy. Too, yeah. But yeah.
Anyway,
let's hit some sponsors.
Let's do it. NOE Bullet Molds at NOEBulletMolds.com. The finest bullet molds in the universe.
Yes. Use coupon code.
Steel, brass, and aluminum, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. All 3. Yeah. And also he makes tools like sizing dies, bushings, he even makes the sights, not sights, but the rails that go for optics mounting on Rossi's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He also makes the aluminum parts for the airgun stock that I make.
Yeah. He's busy making all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
I've been over there probably like 4 times in the last 5 days. No.
Yeah.
maybe not. But I was talking with Al. He has all these cool ideas of things to make, but then there's always the molds that everybody keeps buying and wanting more of. So I told him he needs to make I think there's a 177 grain 30 cal.
Okay.
And I want that in steel so I could cast the zinc out of it, because normally it'd be like a moderately heavy 30 cal bullet for, something like 308 or something like that. But in zinc, it'd be kind of cool, cast it out about, I don't know, 110 grains or whatever it'd be.
Yeah.
And then see if we could, get that going in the 300 Blackout as a nice little supersonic load.
Oh, cool.
So, anyways, tons of ideas, but use coupon code FLT001 and it'll save you 10%.
Yep. Also, Utah Airguns at utahairguns.com. The cornucopia of airguns.
Yeah.
And airgun supplies.
I went over there too this week.
Yeah, I did too.
They let me scrape out some lead in one of their bullet traps.
Oh.
So I went over there and hauled out 5 buckets of. It's real messy stuff because it's got some of the paper targets or cardboard targets mixed in.
Yeah.
So cardboard and then some kind of rubber mulch or something.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Anyways, all this nasty stuff that I got to figure out when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to melt it down. And then, Al is working on some swaging dies.
Huh.
And I told him he's got to figure out how to make like a hollow point for the air guns.
Oh.
So like a swaged hollow point. And
are you talking like a slug or a pellet?
Yeah, slug.
Oh, okay.
So then you could have a little
that
22.
Would be interesting.
Yeah, hollow point slug. Because those are expensive.
Yeah. Justin gave me, it's been a while now too, and I haven't shot them yet. He gave me some hybrid slugs to test.
Oh, really?
And he said, here, just try these, see if you like them. Because I was talking to him about slugs and, what gun I have that I can shoot slugs, not slugs.
What gun did he tell you to use it in?
I think he said the FX, my Dreamline Tactical.
Okay. Yeah, you might have to crank up your
sure
gas or whatever, your pressure to get that going a little faster.
Yeah.
Because the slugs, you need them to go faster to be good.
But. Yeah. But anyway, check out Utah Airguns at utahairguns.com and use the code AIRCANDY when you check out, and you'll get free shipping and free turret stickers.
Nice.
Then we have Black Ice Coatings at blackicecoatings.com. I have guns that I just keep down at my shop because
to show people?
Yep. I plug Black Ice Coatings all the time. And as soon as they look at the stuff, they're like, oh, wow.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. And especially my Mark II, my Ruger Mark II with the 10-inch barrel. That always gets people's attention because, wow, why is that barrel so long? Well, it was built in the 80s, and that was their idea of a target model back then. But those are notoriously gritty actions because people don't like to clean them because they're kind of a pain in the butt to take down.
Yeah.
And this one's been Tefloned inside and out. And it is filthy dirty, and it is butter smooth.
Probably because it's a similar action is because it's a blowback. Mm-hmm. My 9mm AR-15.
Yeah,
that one. I think I've not cleaned it for about 1,000 rounds now.
Yeah,
and it is, and I shoot suppressed, so it's twice
as dirty,
or 3 times as dirty, and it's still smooth.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I've been trying to debate if I should just do as many rounds,
see how long it takes for you to get a failure.
But I don't know if it will ever fail.
Yeah.
And so just with the blowback and how it works, and I don't know, maybe if enough gunk gets on the bolt face or the
might start getting some light strikes or something.
Yeah, or maybe I don't know. I don't know what it would take, but I also kind of want to do hey, this is a clean it after 1,000 rounds and say, hey, this is how easy it is to clean a Teflon coated 9mm AR that is shot suppressed. But they make good or they do good work on the coatings.
It's a good product, and they know what they're doing with it.
And it makes them so smooth. Like I'm kind of a sucker for the plain
black
Teflon everything.
Yeah.
Like outside, inside, all the parts.
And I like a little contrast, but
yeah.
Anyway, go check out Black Ice Coatings. We have Mag Holder at magholder.com. They are pre-selling the Glock, well, not just Glock, but the 45 caliber double stack magazines and 10mm magazine carriers. So those people have been waiting for forever. So jump on those and get in line for those as soon as they release. I think they're should be releasing pretty soon. When you go to checkout, use the code GETINTHEVAN, I have candy, and you'll save like 22.5%. Concealment Solutions at concealmentsolutions.com. It's your one-stop holster shop. Things have, I don't know if it's the season, but I have been selling a lot of the Cobra drop leg holsters and the Cobra chest holsters. Those two have been doing very well in the last several weeks.
Maybe a bunch of hunters and stuff
could be
getting ready to.
Yeah, if you're a hunter and you need an option for carrying a backup, that Cobra chest holster is super awesome. I've used it quite a bit now. Backpacking, fishing, just regular old hiking, canyoneering, and climbing. It's super nice, super convenient. And unlike a lot of the other chest holsters, unlike every chest holster I've seen, this one you can take it off the harness, put the belt clips on it, and it'll go right onto your belt.
And then you have an outside the waistband holster.
Outside the waistband holster on your belt for just regular training or competition or whatever. And then, if you're out in the backcountry or out in the water fly fishing and you want to keep it up out of the muck, throw it up on your chest and you're good to go. Anyway, you can check those out at concealmentsolutions.com and use the code SHOWMETHECANDY. You'll save 15% off your order, and orders over $100 get shipped free.
Awesome. Okay, we have a little bit of listener feedback today. And first one is from Mike in Pennsylvania. And he says, Taco, I found this chart while watching your most recent video on your casting pot. Turns out zinc is slightly softer than pure copper. So that's always good to know. The other thing, though, the variable, is that I am not sure what the contents are of the alloy for zinc wheel weights. So that's like not pure zinc. It's zinc with some added metals in the alloy. As well as copper. I don't know if the copper bullets are pure copper or not.
Sure.
So, but I know it's got to be somewhere close, the hardness.
Yeah.
But anyways. And Dean A. writes in and says, hi guys, longtime Gun Dudes listener and have listened to all of this show's episodes. Waiting on a tax stamp for my first suppressor, and I was interested in getting the recipe for the bunny fart loads.
Oh.
Hope I'm not out of line in asking.
Totally out of line.
You're out of line.
It's an ancient family recipe. Cannot be shared.
So, and he said, keep up the good show. So, I was going to say, I'll just respond to that email, give him the load.
But what if other people want it?
Yeah, then they can write in too. The video does exist out there where I think I talk about the load and everything.
It hasn't been banished?
I think it was banished on YouTube, but it's
still lives
probably on
somewhere
Rumble
else.
And I've been slowly trying to get all my videos on Rumble so that they're not lost forever.
Right.
And then I think Odyssey, they're on there too.
Yeah.
So
speaking of not lost forever, I had an email from a customer who says that he just started listening to the Gun Dudes podcast from the beginning. They still exist. That feed is still active and open. So,
interesting.
If you want to go back and listen to some of the classic Gun Dude stuff, apparently they're still out there. We thought they had been lost.
Yeah, and I don't know if the website is gone. I don't know.
I don't know about the website.
Yeah. Anyways, the last one is from Andy Z, and he says, Zinc Works have not loaded anything to high velocity as most of my shooting is for target 25 to 50 yards, but have shot a 40 grain zinc bullet from my bolt rifle with 20 grains of Varget at 50 yards, 1-inch group, and no signs of the bullet coming apart. Nice round holes. So that's cool. I wonder, I was going to say Andy needs to get a chronograph so that he can share that data too.
Yeah.
He has a YouTube channel. He does, I think it's car stuff and casting and reloading stuff, but it's kind of tough to do the casting and reloading stuff. People are still sharing information. It's just kind of, man, the new, what's YouTube's policy thing, the community guidelines.
Yeah.
You should check those out. They have come down so hard on so many things.
Yeah.
So that you can't do anything that offends anybody, and you can't do anything really to show people how to do gun stuff.
Yeah.
Like even taking apart guns, or you can't show modifications.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They're just becoming like,
we're just trying to raise the next generation of snowflakes.
Yep.
That can't handle anybody that has a different opinion.
Oh, exactly. So, anyways, that's it for listener feedback.
Okay.
And so for today, we kind of wanted to focus on what we did with guns.
We wanted to focus on what Taco did with guns. Before we get into that, now, I haven't done anything with guns because I've been so freaking busy. But I had a really unique experience with a customer in my shop this last week. This was a woman. She just moved here. Well, I don't know if she just moved here, but she moved to Utah from Kansas City, or Kansas. She didn't say Kansas City, from Kansas, and was just kind of getting into guns, starting to take classes and training, and so she was coming to me for some new gear and stuff like that. And I don't even remember how we got on it, but we got on conversation of where the world's going now and just stuff like that. And she made the most brilliant comment to me. Well, first of all, she was saying, yeah, my friends back where I'm from, it's like, I don't understand, but somehow it's like being patriotic is like bad now, and loving your country is like a bad thing. And I'm like, yeah, I've noticed that too, and that's really strange to me. And she's like, you remember when we just had one flag and it represented freedom, liberty, and justice for everyone?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I remember that. That was really cool. He's like, now we have all the flags for everything and every little group, and really what it's doing is it's dividing
us. Yeah.
And it's not unifying us. And I just went, that's really profound. That was really a very profound thought that she shared with me. And I went, yeah, we need to get back to unifying everybody and focusing on, we're all different, but we all have similarities too. And if we focus on what we have in common and worry less about how we're different, society would be a much happier place.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I agree.
There's your philosophy minute.
Philosophy by Jason.
So, you have a stack of guns here.
A plethora.
A plethora. Would you
Yeah.
say you had a plethora? And your family's been out of town on vacation without you.
Yes. So an interesting thing is they've been gone for like a week and a bit.
Uh-huh.
And so that was when on my channel, for those of you who haven't been following my channel on YouTube and Rumble and stuff, I committed because I wanted to stay busy.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have done it, but looking back, I was up till like midnight or 1 every night trying to get these things done. But I committed to do a video a day, 7 videos, 7 days.
Yeah. How many have been deleted?
Oh, none.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they're not as good as they could be.
Right.
Because
your hands are tied.
Yeah, my hands are tied. But I still had, pretty good stuff. And if you haven't watched them, I'd highly recommend watching the video entitled A Strange Unboxing Video or something like that.
Okay.
Made my daughter laugh and roll her eyes.
A little scared.
Yeah. Anyways. So I've been really super focused on, making these videos and also going out shooting. And we could go ahead and announce that sometime this week I will have a challenge video out there, and it's going to be a really cool giveaway. And all you'd have to do is, so you need to watch the video so you know what the rules are.
Right.
But basically you have to just participate. You don't have to be the best at the challenge.
You don't even have to complete the challenge.
You do have to complete the challenge.
Well, you have to. Well,
you have to do the challenge.
Do it. That doesn't mean you have to be successful at the challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you could be really bad at it, but as long as you attempt it, then you will be entered into a drawing. And I have been collecting some prizes. I guess I could share a few of those prizes. Sure. So, an awesome Concealment Solutions holster package.
Yep.
An NOE bullet mold package with a mold of their choice with handles, as well as some mold mallets.
Okay.
And then from Utah Air Guns, they were really generous. I was super grateful for them. They donated a Benjamin Marauder semi-auto 22 caliber air gun.
Nice.
And then there was some stuff I was going to donate to the cause, but I haven't decided exactly what. I'm thinking maybe a couple red dots or something.
Cool.
Or maybe a 338 Spectre barrel.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah, I've got a couple barrels and uppers. And
a nice little prize package.
Yes. And all you have to do is just participate. You can
upload a video.
Yeah, upload a video. Okay. So stay tuned for my, my channel. And watch for that video to come out and be released. But going back to the 7 video 7 days, I went out and I did a lot of shooting. And specifically on Saturday, I went and I shot from like almost 12 hours, like 7 to whatever. And
wow.
So that is quite the. It's funny because I came home, I had the raccoon eyes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I still probably have it a little bit, but
yeah.
And I had some really cool like shooting hair because it was really windy out there.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So I have all these guns on the floor and on the couch and everything, and so I'll just go around and talk about different things that I tested, things I learned, or new guns that I tried out. Okay. So on one of my videos this last week, I talked about a 3-lug adapter that I had ordered from Liberty Suppressors.
Oh, yeah.
And so I installed that adapter on my Liberty Mystic X suppressor. And I will say I really do like the 3-lug approach.
Yeah.
It is probably the fastest way to throw a suppressor on.
Explain to me what a 3-lug is. What does that mean?
So there are 3 lugs on the adapter of the barrel. Mm-hmm. And so you put the suppressor over those 3 lugs, push it down, give it a slight twist, and then it locks into place.
Okay, so
and
it doesn't just thread on like
it doesn't thread on. Okay. And it's held into the grooves with those lugs, and like there's a spring.
Kind of spring loaded.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So I actually am very much contemplating converting a couple more suppressors to the 3-lug. And this one, now 3-lug is not for like rifle cartridges.
Okay.
It's more for like pistol caliber stuff.
Okay.
And so it's perfect for like the AR-15 and 9mm, the AKV and 9mm. Basically the pistol caliber carbines. It's perfect for that.
Okay.
If you want to, hurry and quick attach it or, detach it. So I also, while testing that out, then I was testing out my fake MP5. So that
thing is a tank.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
It weighs a lot. Tiny gun, and it is super heavy.
So this gun is actually an ARV made by Palmetto State Armory.
Okay.
And it has this really cool collapsible arm brace.
The arm brace.
Yeah,
the arm brace is quite nice.
I think it's just 3 position.
Yeah.
But you only need the most open position and the shortest for storing it.
Yeah.
But this thing is pretty cool. I think I did a video on it. If not, I will need to. But It was really fun to shoot. I put a little red dot, one of the Faiachi, like $65 red dots, and that turned out to be pretty good for the purpose, right? Save a little bit of money and still have something that works. And this one came with the 3-lug milled into the barrel.
Oh, wow.
And then it has a thread protector over some 1/2x28 threads.
So you can run it either way. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. But yeah, you just stick that on. That's it.
I like it.
Yeah. So sorry for the viewers or listeners.
Did you hear how smooth and easy that was?
Yeah, super easy. Just pops right on. So I went and sighted that gun in and function tested it. Shot great.
Yeah.
Had some friends come shooting. It was kind of funny because I had almost like 3 different groups of people come shooting.
Yeah.
So I set up and I had a coworker and a neighbor, and we went out shooting. And I helped my neighbor sight in some AR-15s that I helped him build. So he's like a first-time gun owner.
Oh, okay, cool.
From South America.
Oh, yeah, you talked about him. Yeah.
And so he went from like no guns to like 4 guns, or like
Nice.
3.5. So he has an AR-15 with a 300 blackout upper and 223.
Oh,
upper.
okay, cool.
So that was kind of interesting, helping him sight in these guns. And you know, he had kind of a cheaper SIG scope on the AR-15 and 223, and then a red dot on the 300 blackout. And he had bought the ammo without, you know, kind of consulting me.
Oh, did he bring you some steel case stuff?
Yeah, so when I asked him, I said, "Hey, do you have enough ammo?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got a bunch." And I think for new gun owners, if you see like a couple boxes of ammo, like 3 boxes of 223, and you're like 60 rounds, that sounds like a lot of ammo. It's not really.
No.
But yeah, so he had brought
It's a few minutes of shooting.
Yeah, he had brought some steel cased ammo, and I kind of the disappointed sigh, like, oh. And I told him, I said, hey, the steel case, it works great in AKs and stuff.
Right.
It's usually,
that's what they're made to shoot.
Yeah.
You know?
But 223 or 5.56 in steel case, they make it so you could shoot it in like AR-15s or whatever, but it just, AR-15s are not made or designed to shoot that steel case stuff.
And it's really hard on them too.
It really is hard on it. And so we started sighting in his rifle, and then, you know,
he hit some failures.
We got a failure, and so we actually had to use a squib rod to tap out the case, because the case got stuck in the chamber, and the extractor ripped the rim off.
Yeah.
And so you couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
And so we just had to tap that one out.
And that's the steel stuff for 5.56 and 223 is kind of notorious for that.
Yeah, it's really hard on extractors, and it's just not good.
Yeah, it is not worth the price.
It's not worth the headaches. You know, the cost savings aren't worth the headaches.
Right.
And then also not knowing that if it's going to fail or not. Like, it could fail any shot, right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
For me, I tell him, I was like, hey, I could trade you some, you know, nice brass case stuff to help you out.
Yeah.
So, and I have a couple guns that can shoot that, and I'll talk about one of them later.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so we got his gun sighted in, and turned out good, and, you know, helped him learn how to shoot his Glock 19, or it was a Glock 19X, I think.
Okay.
So
it's a 19 barrel with the 17 grip.
Yeah, it was like a cool color, like a bronze or something.
Yeah.
He really liked the looks of it.
Yeah.
So he was surprised how difficult it is to.
It was probably a 45. It was probably the Glock 45. I think comes in like a brown, and it's the same as the 19X.
Yeah, there's a couple differences but
not hardly any.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool.
I think one is has like Gen 5 parts. One
maybe
is I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm not like the Glock guru, especially on the ones that I don't care about. Yeah. So. Yeah. But anyways, it was cool too. Oh, and he brought his little Henry 22 lever action.
Cool.
So those are
I've had a couple of those. Those are fun.
His first 3.5 guns.
Cool.
And that was fun to do for him. And anyways, so I sighted in the ARV, and it was great. Shot great.
Mm-hmm.
And
what else did you shoot?
I picked up this gun, and this is another one that weighs like a ton. And that one is it's Palmetto's AK that's chambered in 5.56. And it's
really front end heavy too.
Yeah, it's got a lot of metal on it.
Holy cow!
So over the piston area, then there's a bunch of aluminum, and there's a rail, and the rail extends all the way out to the end of the barrel almost.
Yeah, and it's got a giant muzzle brake on it.
It's got a brake on it too. So, yeah. Anyways, this gun was.
I mean, it's a nice looking gun.
Yeah, it's interesting because it takes the AR-15 mags instead of like a AK style rock and lock magazine.
Yeah.
And it's got the adjustable mag pull stock folding.
Yep.
So that one was normally I probably wouldn't spend that much money on an AK, but I just wanted another one in 223 5.56.
I think they probably sell them by the pound, right?
Yeah.
That's why they're so much.
That's why that one costs so much. But I think it was around $1,200.
Wow.
For that.
That is a lot.
Yeah, especially since like my other AK is only like $550.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So, but it is a unique thing. I gotta hand it to Palmetto. They're kind of like Kel-Tec, but with better machining.
but with better quality control.
Higher quality control, or more consistent quality control would be kind of what I'd say. So that ARV, it looks kind of like an MP5, and it shoots great. It's blowback. The only thing I would knock the little MP5 clone for is the bolt release is kind of weird. They have like one that's kind of alongside the magwell. And it's kind of
an odd place.
It's in an odd place, and it doesn't give you a whole lot to grab on.
Yeah.
When you're used to AR-15s where you can slap a ping pong paddle and it closes.
Yeah.
It's very easy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have your AK, which has your side charging, and you just grab that and flip it, and then so that makes it a little bit more, I don't know, kind of weird. You could still, like, if you throw a new mag in, you can, just pull the charging handle up top and release it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you try and do it with the little bolt release section,
it's pretty tight.
You have to almost pull back on the charging handle a little bit, and then.
So it sounds like it's more of a lock than a release.
Yeah, maybe
that makes sense.
But yeah. So
anyway,
okay. So I have another AK here, and this is one that is a true AK-47, and this also was a Palmetto. And I don't know if you remember,
it's got
but
all Magpul furniture on it.
Yeah, this one I had to send back to Palmetto because of some failures to go into battery. It was like about an inch from going into battery, like a really weird thing, kind of like maybe a extractor or bolt or something slightly out of spec, so it didn't have enough oomph going forward to go into battery. But I had.
And is that chambered in 7.62?
This is 7.62 by 39. Okay. And I got this one back from Palmetto, and I finally took it out on Saturday to function test it.
And
I ran probably about 200 rounds through it.
Okay.
And totally worked.
Cool.
So I shout out to Palmetto, and I believe, for those of you who are wondering, I believe Palmetto offers kind of like a lifetime guarantee on their guns.
Okay.
So if you buy a Palmetto one, you can feel good about having support.
They've got good customer service.
Yeah, customer service.
That's important.
And it only took a couple weeks to ship it to them and back, and then having it work. So the one thing I didn't like about this gun and is towards the back, and this is not the Palmetto their problem. It's more of a problem I have with the Magpul stock. Something was pinching my cheek as I was shooting it. And I don't know what.
Was it pinching the skin, or was it?
Yeah, it was like pinching my skin.
Was it pulling the mutton chops?
I think it was pinching the skin, but it could have been.
It could have been pulling the
I
hair
hadn't
on your...
shaved that day, so maybe. Yeah. And so I was just thinking...
Either way, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Stick a piece of tape over that next time you go shoot that little... What is that little button? Is that the release for the...
The butt pad or something? I don't know.
That's weird.
So I think
there's a little
skin was catching in this little button.
So there's
area.
a little button on the top of the back of the stock that appears to do nothing but pinch.
Does nothing but pinch Taco's sideburns or cheek.
It's the face pinching model.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was cool. And then I had another thing that I tested out, and I was like super happy with it. It's the Palmetto, the PSA Dagger.
Their Glock clone.
Yes. I left the lower half at, what's his name's?
Oh, at Black Ice?
No, at Antonio's shop.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because I had bought like a lot of things that were considered handguns all at once. So I left that and I was going to pick it up later.
The ATF's going to come knock on your door?
Yeah, they're going to knock on my door and do the spontaneous thing. Make sure you still have
all these guns?
Fortunately, I don't have a dog, so they won't shoot the dog.
Yeah.
But they might shoot my chickens, my guard chickens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I took this. I wanted to test out the slide, and this one was milled for the RMR.
Okay.
And the whole gun complete was $300. It was a blemished one, and it came with a threaded barrel and suppressor height sights.
Jeez.
I couldn't really find the blemish on it, except I think maybe either it's like some in the finish of the Cerakoting or something. I could see a little bit of waviness, but it's like it's a handgun. It's a Glock. Basically, I don't care.
Yeah.
And I put an RMR on, and we shot this like a ton. And what was funny about it is that so after the first group of my friend and coworker left, then I had some boys text me. They're the sons of one of my friends who passed away from cancer, and they were in town, and they're like, "Hey, you want to do something?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm out here shooting. You want to come shoot?" And they're like, "Okay."
Nice.
So these 4 boys drove over down to where I was shooting, and they came and shot a bunch of guns for a while.
Nice.
And then Stan showed up too.
Oh, he can show up to shoot, but he can't show up to record. I understand.
But yeah, so we had a ton of fun with this handgun. Some of those boys had never shot handguns before. Oh. And so they got to shoot it for the first time. And a couple of them are kind of young. They're like, 12-ish. Okay. And then the oldest is probably about 16, 17. So
I hope at least if he drove out there.
Yeah. But they're like pretty tall kids, the 2 older ones. Like over 6 feet. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
But so it was fun. We did all kinds of shooting with this handgun, and then we wanted to do a little bit of air quotes advanced shooting or fun shooting. So we did the Jason Bourne shot. Hold the gun upside down, pull the trigger with your pinky. Oh yeah, and they thought that was so like fun and
Jason
cool.
Bourne stole that from Josie Wales, just so you know.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, with the red dot, the RMR, it actually made it kind of easy. So the older boy, he was able to get three hits on a silhouette, 12 yards or whatever. Cool. And 3 out of 3, and the other one was, I think he got 2 out of 3 or something like that. But yeah, we did a bunch of handgun shooting and rifle shooting and stuff, so... Yeah, so the PSA Dagger, no failures at all. It just ran like a clock. So I just need to pick up that one, the lower, but I have some other stuff there that I need to pick up too. So
we're not done yet. Just in case all you listening, we're still going.
Yeah. So I also took out the AKV.
Okay.
That's the 9mm Palmetto AK pistol. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice arm brace right there.
It is. It's a nice triangle folder arm brace. And this thing is just a hoot to shoot. Yeah. And I was talking to Jim Cannon, and he was telling me, he's like, he loves his AKV. Yeah. And he's like, that thing is so easy to bump fire. I was like, oh, really? I I hadn't tried it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So of course I had to try it.
Yeah.
And it does bump fire easy. So just in case you were wondering, you don't need any extra trigger or anything fancy. You just bump fire it.
And you've got a Crimson Trace red dot on there.
And that's one I need to do a update video.
How do you like that?
So initially I thought it was so dumb that they had this, it's Crimson Trace, right? This should be like a nicer optic, or
yes,
you would think, right? Crimson Trace is a good company.
Yeah.
Make good stuff. But they didn't include directional arrows of like clockwise for up and and right and that kind of stuff. And so anyways,
I don't have a ton of experience with their stuff, but their red dots and the stuff that they've been coming out with lately, I have not been impressed with.
Yeah, it's like cheap
all.
Chinese stuff.
It's
made out of Chinesium.
It's not just cheap Chinese stuff. I mean, it's like you can get good stuff out of China. You can. They didn't even try to get good stuff out of China with what I've been seeing. It's very disappointing.
Yeah.
They're just looking at money. They're just looking at dollar signs.
Yeah, and that was kind of a bummer, that part of it. But then a couple of the users, or not users, the viewers of my channel, they were asking for an update on it. So that's why I took it out. And
what did that one cost?
It was somewhere, I spent about $50 or...
Oh, okay.
It was on sale at Cabela's, and I used Cabela's bucks.
So it's in the price range of really cheap Chinese stuff.
It's probably more like $75,
Still.
But yeah, the equivalent would be like a TRS 25.
I'm less disappointed with them. If it had cost $150, which is what I was expecting it to be, at least in that range, coming from Crimson Trace, that would have been very disappointing. But spending $50 to $70 on a red dot, you shouldn't be disappointed with cheaper quality.
Yeah. So this one, it has like a nice little break on there. But I was thinking I believe it's threaded 1/2 by 28, so I was thinking this would be a good candidate for throwing a tri-lug adapter on.
Yeah.
And then I'd have 3 pistol caliber carbines in 9mm that I could just swap that same Liberty can on.
Right.
As I move to shoot one or the other, then just slide it right on. And
very cool.
So it would make it real fast and easy. But yeah, so the Crimson Trace still held 0.
Okay. So that's a positive.
And it's good, because if it didn't, then I would have a hard time knowing which way to turn it. I'd have to look at one of the other optics or watch my video where I record where you have to turn it right for.
You need to get one of those little fine point Sharpies
and then draw
an arrow on it.
Yeah, or like scratch it, just scratch it on that cheap finish.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, what else did you shoot?
Okay, so I also took my AR-15 in 9mm.
Nice.
And that's one where I mounted the tri-lug adapter.
I'm laughing because it's got a ridiculously short barrel.
Yeah, it looks like 4 inches or something.
And a giant round handguard that's almost the same length as the barrel.
It's actually longer than the barrel.
Oh, with the adapter. The adapter
the barrel sits recessed.
What length is the barrel on that?
It's
probably, I'm going to say it's probably a 4-inch.
I think it might be 4 inches.
Yeah.
So, but that was kind of the idea, is that it sits underneath the handguard.
Yeah.
And with this tri-lug adapter, it just makes it so fast and easy to.
And now it looks like a real gun.
Yeah. Well, and with that, that longer suppressor on, it makes it look.
It looks
like how it should be.
It looks a little silly without it on there.
Yes.
But
it looks like a short kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've got your big TV set on the top.
Yeah, I got the TV, the Vortex, Razer, AMG, UH1.
You still happy with those? I know you've got a few
I
of them.
love those, yeah. I wish I would have bought
a handful of them.
Well, I bought a handful. I wish I would have bought 3 handfuls of them.
Huh.
Because I was getting them for about I think it was $300 or something on Amazon when they're closing out.
Yeah.
All the places were, closing.
They're all dumping them because they had a new version coming out or something.
So, Yeah, that one is always a favorite of people when they go out and shoot. And that's the one that we're talking about that's coated in black ice, like Teflon over everything.
Yeah.
And it runs without failing.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
And then I also have this rifle here, and this is a sweet gun. And this is the one that was in the unboxing video.
Oh, okay.
Now, I haven't mounted an optic on it yet. I was trying to figure out what I should mount on it. And I'm kind of thinking something like a LPVO or something like that. And so I'm thinking maybe like I don't know, I have a 1 to 4.5 Athlon scope that's pretty nice. And then I also have a couple Vortex Strike Eagle 1 to 8s.
Okay.
And I really like that scope, the 1 to 8s. So I'm going to put one of those on it. But this one is kind of a custom build.
Yeah.
It's
Tell us
what's
what
funny
it is.
it's a TC Compass. And I know everyone's thinking, oh, no, custom build with a TC Compass? What? Because that's like
it's an inexpensive.
Very inexpensive gun. And I think Gunny's was having like some crazy sale. I got them for like $250 or something.
Yeah.
I figured, hey, that's a cheap action. I can't get an action for nearly that.
And they're decent quality.
They usually shoot pretty good.
Yeah.
And so I sent this down to Kenny from the
Eagle Eye.
Yeah, and he modified a barrel, a Faxon barrel, and then sent it or attach it to the rifle and send it back to me.
Nice.
So it is,
and that it looks like it's in a chassis. That's not the Thompson Center.
Yeah, this thing actually looks pretty good.
It does.
And feels pretty good.
It's a good-looking gun.
And so,
what's the chassis that
it's an Oryx chassis.
Okay.
So,
and I'm guessing that cost you more than the Thompson Center did to begin with.
That is true. So,
okay.
Yeah, and this is chambered in 8.6 Blackout.
Okay.
So that new cartridge we've been talking about.
I'm guessing because you don't have an optic on it, you have not shot it yet.
I have not shot it yet. I have just unboxed it. I got to figure out which scope I'm going to put on.
Right.
And I'll probably cannibalize something, like throw something on from one of my other guns I haven't been shooting as much.
And it looks like it's got a 10-round box magazine.
Yes, I believe so. It's one of the Magpul, what do you call it, the AICS pattern PMags.
Sure.
So, yeah, super excited to get this.
That's an interesting caliber.
Yeah, have you looked at any videos yet?
I have not.
You should just search like some gel videos.
Okay.
When they shoot that into ballistic gel.
It looks like a pretty heavy projectile with a lot of powder behind it.
Yeah. So
in a short, fat cartridge.
Yeah. It is basically a 6.5 Creedmoor cut down and necked up to 338.
Okay.
So kind of like the 300 Blackout, but biggie sized.
Yeah.
And so some people have asked me, like, well, what do you think about this versus the 338 Spectre? There are like lots of pros and cons for each.
Right.
So it totally depends what you're wanting to do.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to hunt subsonic, the 8.6 Blackout is the way to go because they have found a way to add energy to a cartridge without...
This is the one that's got the really fast twist rate.
Yeah, it's a 1 in 3.
Yeah.
So it does one full revolution...
Every 3 inches?
Every 3 inches, which is kind of unheard of.
Yeah, that's crazy fast.
Yeah, and so it also limits the velocity that you could push things.
Yeah.
But it was designed as a hunting cartridge for subsonic. Yeah, and at first I thought it was just kind of a hokey thing.
Right.
I'm like, well, why would anyone want to do that? Like, instead of... Like, it doesn't make sense, right? With the increased cost of, like, the brass and the bullets, projectiles are, like, really expensive, 338s. So why would you want to, shoot them subsonic? But it makes sense in a hunting configuration.
What's, like, an effective range for a subsonic round with that heavy of a
I was watching a video, I think it was, of Kevin, the owner or CEO of Q Suppressors.
Okay. Don't know.
Yeah, anyways, yeah. They're like the designers of this cartridge.
Oh, okay.
And he was shooting a Zebra. I think it might have been like 200 yards.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that's...
Shot and killed a Zebra at 200 yards, and Zebras are kind of big. So.
Yeah. And a 200-yard shot is that's plenty for a hunting caliber.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting, but you should watch some videos of the gel shots.
Yeah.
With those Maker bullets. So Maker is a maker of
bullets.
Bullets.
Oh.
Yeah, and they make some copper bullets that are designed to expand.
Oh yeah.
At subsonic speeds.
Are those basically the ones that have the butter, the
it's
pedals
like
that
propeller?
Yeah,
it's bizarre. It just cuts and
bores
shreds.
Through.
Yeah. So you can see how that could dump a lot more energy into an animal or something. So
cool.
Now I will say, if you are not a hunter, you might as well go with like a 338 Spectre because the brass is cheaper. It's probably more kind with the cast bullets, right? So cheaper plinking.
I would imagine with that twist rate, a cast bullet's going to have some issues.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I'm going to test. And Eagle Eye Shooting, Kenny, he's been doing some testing. I sent him some bullets of mine, and so I mean that would be, the only purpose I think would be for hunting. Otherwise, your platform is the AR-10 platform versus AR-15, so you got heavier and more expensive parts. Everything is going to be heavier and more expensive than if you go with the 338 Spectre, which uses cheaper brass. It's just 10 millimeter Magnum pistol brass made by Starline, and so it's a lot cheaper than 6.5 Creedmoor rifle brass that you're gonna neck down and or cut down and neck up. So and then just your length is gonna be like AR-10s are just kind of bigger and bulkier and heavier. Yeah, so
for sure.
Yeah, and it's gonna take the case is bigger, so it's gonna basically cost more to load with powder because you're using more powder in there. And that 338 Spectre, if you just want a heavy plinking cartridge, that one's better. Okay. Just for plinking. Yeah. But hunting, 8.6
sounds like that might be a new caliber to keep an eye on for.
Yeah, it is, hunting. And it'll be interesting to see how. It'll be nice when they start making the brass, so you can just buy brass without converting. Some of the guys on some of the channels are having to turn the necks, and that is such a pain. So, do you know what turning necks is?
I do not.
It's basically when your brass is too thick on the neck, and so you have to like trim the outside
diameter.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
And that's kind of a crappy thing to do.
I can understand how that would be a pain in the butt.
So kind of time consuming and a pain in the butt. So having some factory brass that you could just use is going to be nice.
Yeah. Very cool.
So that's probably about half of what I've been doing.
Yeah. Nice. Well, very cool. So everybody needs to go check out your latest videos and watch for the drawing. There's
the challenge
video where you can get entered in to win a Benjamin air gun and a holster package and molds and mallets.
Just lots of cool stuff.
So, check it out.
So
awesome.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Stay safe, have fun, and
be nice to people and
take someone shooting.
Yeah. Gonna give your child the best.
Are you preparing your child
for life?
For life, the best way you can.
Yeah.
And no, if you have your kids running around wearing ears and tails,
and her thing is
pretend to be like
she's not hurting anybody, and it makes her happy.
Yeah. Oh, really? So does that make behavior okay?
Yeah.
If you're not hurting anyone and it makes you happy, there's lots of things you could do that are very detrimental.
Oh yeah.
To yourself and.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
I just
furries.